Seneca once said that weak people reveal themselves through their words before they ever reveal themselves through their actions. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to expose the 5 phrases that expose weakness, and more importantly, show you what strong people say instead. If you've ever caught yourself saying any of these, don't worry. Awareness is the first step to transformation. Let's dive in. Before we begin, I want to be clear about something. When I say weak versus strong, I'm not talking about physical strength or inherent worth as a human being. I'm talking about mental resilience, character, and the Stoic concept of inner strength. We've all been weak at times. The question is, are you willing to recognize it and change? Let's find out. Phrase number 1. It's not fair. This is perhaps the most damaging phrase in the human vocabulary, and you hear it everywhere. Someone gets promoted over you, it's not fair. Someone else has more money, better looks, an easier life, it's not fair. The weather ruins your plans, it's not fair. Here's what the Stoics understood that weak people don't. Life was never meant to be fair. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote in his private journal that expecting life to be fair is like expecting a fig tree to produce anything other than figs. It goes against nature itself. When you say it's not fair, what you're really saying is, I refuse to accept reality. You're wasting precious mental energy complaining about how things should be instead of dealing with how things actually are. You're giving away your power to external circumstances that you cannot control. Strong people never say this. Instead, they ask a different question. They ask, what can I do about this? They accept that life is inherently unfair, always has been, always will be. Some people are born into wealth, others into poverty. Some people are naturally gifted, others have to work twice as hard. Some people get lucky breaks, others face obstacle after obstacle. But here's the empowering truth. Fair or not, you still have agency. You still have choices. You can still take action. When you stop complaining about fairness and start focusing on your response, you reclaim your power. You shift from victim to victor. Epictetus was born a slave. Talk about unfair. Yet he became one of the greatest philosophers in history because he refused to let his circumstances define him. He focused on what he could control, his thoughts, his character, his responses, and he let go of everything else. So the next time you catch yourself saying it's not fair, stop, take a breath, and ask yourself, what's within my control right now? That's where your power lives. Phrase number 2, I can't. 2 of the most limiting words in any language. I can't lose weight. I can't start a business. I can't learn that skill. I can't change my situation. I can't. Let's be brutally honest here. Most of the time when you say I can't, what you really mean is I won't. Or I'm afraid to. Or it's uncomfortable and I'd rather stay where I am. Because the truth is, you're capable of far more than you think. The Stoics taught that our limitations are mostly self-imposed. We create cages in our minds and then wonder why we can't fly. We tell ourselves stories about what's possible and impossible, and then those stories become our reality. Strong people have erased I can't from their vocabulary. They replace it with how can I? They replace it with what would it take? They replace it with I haven't yet, but I will. Notice the difference. I can't lose weight becomes, how can I create a sustainable fitness routine? I can't start a business becomes, what would it take to validate this idea and take the first step? I can't change becomes, I haven't changed yet, but I'm committed to growth. This isn't just positive thinking nonsense. This is about taking responsibility for your life. Every time you say I can't, you're closing a door, you're limiting your potential. You're choosing weakness over strength. And yes, there are genuine physical limitations. You probably can't dunk a basketball if you're 5 feet tall. But even then, strong people don't make excuses. They find another game to play. They find another way to excel. The Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus taught that difficulties show us who we truly are. When you face something hard and say, "I can't," you're revealing weakness. When you face something hard and say, "Let's figure this out," you're revealing strength. Your words shape your reality. Stop telling yourself what you can't do and start asking what you will do. Phrase number 3. That's just who I am. This phrase is an identity prison. It's the ultimate excuse for refusing to grow. I'm just not a morning person. I'm just bad with money. I'm just quick-tempered. I'm just not good at relationships. That's just who I am. No. That's who you've been. That's the pattern you've reinforced through repeated behavior. But it's not who you have to be. The Stoics believed that we are works in progress until the day we die. Marcus Aurelius constantly challenged himself to be better even as emperor. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Notice he didn't say, "Well, I'm just not naturally virtuous, so I guess I'll stay the way I am." He recognized that character is built through daily practice, through conscious choice, through constant refinement. When you say, "That's just who I am," you're refusing to take responsibility for your own development. You're treating your personality like it's set in stone when it's actually more like clay that can be shaped with intention and effort. Strong people understand this deeply. They say, "That's who I've been, but I'm choosing to become someone different." They recognize that identity is fluid and that growth requires letting go of old versions of yourself. This is uncomfortable. It requires you to admit that maybe the way you've been showing up isn't serving you. It requires humility to say, "I've been wrong, and I'm going to change." But that discomfort is where transformation happens. The ancient Stoics practiced daily self-examination for exactly this reason. They reviewed their actions, identified where they fell short, and committed to improvement. They never used their nature as an excuse for bad behavior. You're not a fixed entity. You're a process. Every day you have the choice to reinforce who you've been or to step into who you want to become. Stop hiding behind "that's just who I am" and start building the person you respect. Phrase number 4. I'll try. On the surface, this seems harmless, even positive. But dig deeper, and you'll see it's one of the weakest commitments you can make. I'll try to make it to your event. I'll try to finish that project. I'll try to keep my word. I'll try to change. Yoda said it perfectly. Do or do not. There is no try. And the Stoics would agree completely. When you say "I'll try," you're building in an excuse for failure before you even begin. You're creating an escape hatch for your lack of commitment. Think about it. When someone says, "I'll try to make it," do you actually expect them to show up? Of course not. You know what they really mean is, probably not. But I don't want to disappoint you by saying no directly. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you say "I'll try," you're already imagining failure. You're hedging your bets. You're not fully committing because then if you fail, you can say, "Well, I tried." Strong people don't try. They commit, or they decline. They say, "I will be there," or they say, "I can't make it, but I appreciate the invitation." They say, "I'm committed to finishing this project by Friday." They say, "I'm changing this behavior, period." This is about integrity. Your word is your bond. When you constantly say "I'll try" and then don't follow through, you're training yourself to be unreliable. You're teaching yourself that commitments are optional. You're eroding trust, both with others and with yourself. Now, does this mean you'll succeed at everything you commit to? Of course not. Strong people fail too. But they fail while fully committed, not while halfway trying. There's a massive difference between "I gave it everything and fell short" versus "I kind of tried but didn't really commit." The Stoics taught that we should act with purpose and conviction. Hesitation and half measures lead to mediocrity. Full commitment, even in failure, leads to growth. So eliminate "I'll try" from your vocabulary. Replace it with I will or I won't. Make clear commitments and honor them. That's how you build the kind of character that you and others can rely on. Phrase number 5. They made me feel this way. This is the ultimate abdication of personal responsibility. He made me angry. She made me feel insecure. They made me upset. My boss made me stressed. The news made me anxious. Here's the hard truth that the Stoics understood 2,000 years ago. No one can make you feel anything without your permission. Your emotions are your responsibility, not anyone else's. Epictetus taught this as a core principle. He said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." In other words, it's not what happens to you that determines your emotional state. It's how you interpret and respond to what happens. When you say someone made you feel a certain way, you're giving them complete power over your inner world. You're saying that your peace of mind depends on how other people behave. That's an incredibly weak position to take. Think about it practically. If someone can make you angry, that means they control you. They can manipulate your emotions at will. They can ruin your day with a single comment. Is that really the relationship you want to have with your own emotions? Strong people understand that emotions are responses, not reflexes. There's a space between what happens and how you feel, and in that space lies your power. Someone says something rude. You can choose to be offended, or you can choose to be indifferent. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You can choose rage, or you can choose to let it go. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending you don't feel things. It means recognizing that you have agency in how you respond to stimuli. You're not a puppet on strings, reacting automatically to every external input. Marcus Aurelius faced assassination attempts, betrayals, and constant criticism. He could have said, "These people made me miserable." Instead, he wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." That's radical ownership. That's true strength. So the next time you feel a strong emotion, pause before you blame someone else for it. Ask yourself, how am I interpreting this situation? What story am I telling myself? What's within my control here? Your emotional life is your responsibility. Own it. Now let's bring this all together. These 5 phrases reveal weakness because they all share a common thread. They all give away your power. They all place control of your life in external hands. They all avoid responsibility. It's not fair gives your power to circumstances. I can't gives your power to limitations. That's just who I am gives your power to the past. I'll try gives your power to uncertainty. They made me feel this way gives your power to other people. Strong people, people with true Stoic character, they keep their power. They focus on what they control. They take responsibility for their choices, their development, and their responses. They speak with intention and commit with conviction. The beautiful thing is, you can start changing these patterns right now, today, this moment. Pay attention to your words. Catch yourself when you slip into these phrases, and choose different words that reflect strength and responsibility. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. Even Marcus Aurelius, even Seneca, even Epictetus had moments of weakness. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. The goal is to build a little more strength every single day through conscious choice and deliberate practice. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, pay attention to your language. Notice when you use these 5 phrases. And when you catch yourself, stop, reframe, and choose words that reflect the strong person you're becoming. Which of these 5 phrases do you struggle with most? Have you noticed yourself saying any of them? Drop a comment below and let me know. Let's build accountability together. And if this video gave you value, if it challenged you, if it made you think differently about your words and your power, hit that subscribe button. We're diving deep into Stoic wisdom, personal development, and building unshakable inner strength. Your transformation starts with awareness, and it continues with action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.